Hey everyone!
Hello!
Welcome. As you guys come in, say hello. We are both on Facebook and YouTube. So let me get everything set up and we'll be right there. And just a sec, guys. We are in training mode, so give us 1 sec here. Hey guys, welcome. So today we are playing with Infusible Ink. We're going to make some M&M coasters, or attempt to make M&M coasters. For those of you who are new to the channel or just getting back to watching us, if you have not met Ryan, Ryan is training on how to do live videos, so you'll hear Sean giving instructions throughout this. And we will be making a full tutorial, so we will show design space. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer thing, but I'm excited because we haven't done a lot with Infusible Inks. These came out in, I think, July, August. And right now it's exclusively available in Michael's. It's planning on coming to Cricut around October. So as I share some stuff, Sean can explain about links and all of that good jazz.
Okay, for those who need links in Facebook, I'm going to bring up the lower third here for all y'all. If you need a link, we're finding that links are better when we're not actually have them on the Facebook. So if you would like links, we can actually give them to you. Just go pound link, or hashtag link, sorry, and I will make sure that gets to you. It'll constantly be popping up anyway. So if you see it once, you can just grab it when it's in there. YouTube does not have to worry about it. It's there, so no problem with that. We'll also be throwing up some links to Watts of Love and Patreon. We can show you those links as well. So,
all right, and sorry to interrupt you. A couple quick things. If you are on a Facebook Live, a lot of people have reported that they're having issues with Facebook Live not looking the best. So I just want to let you know that when you are on Facebook Live, there is a little tiny gear icon. It's got a little tiny gear on it, and you can change the quality. For whatever reason, Facebook always sets it up at 240p, which is the lowest quality, and you can change it to 720 on your devices and on your laptop. So make sure if it's kind of fuzzy, if it is having a problem loading or anything, just ask Sean for the YouTube link. You can hop over to there. Sean is monitoring all of the comments. We do have some moderators that will be in both, so if you have questions or anything on my links or anything like that, just want to remind you guys that this product's only exclusive in Michael's right now, and I do not have a coupon to Michael's. However, the links down below will support us, so if you use them, I appreciate that. So, I think I have it shared everywhere.
I think so.
Sean is monitoring comments. Make sure it's in caps so he can see it. Once again, we are in training mode, so if we have a little bit of technical difficulties or anything like that.
Speak, weirdly.
Yeah, it's because we're training Ryan on Switcher Studios and all of that stuff. So, hello everyone. So, let's go ahead and get started. So, we are going to be making some M&M coasters. And so, I'm going to show you the product we're using right here. First. Now, all of this is available at michaels.com. The links are down below. I also gave you my link to my 2-hour video on Cricut Infusible Ink how-to and a beginner's guide. It's about 2 hours because we do go over everything for you. So it's a pretty in-depth video, but it's a lot of fun. All right, so what are we using for this product here? We are going to be using the Cricut Maker. We're using the True Blue. So this is True Blue Infusible Ink transfer sheets. We have bright green. We have this one, which is the Jungle Safari. We're actually using this for the yellow. We have patterns, which we're using for the red. So obviously red, yellow, green, blue are the 4 M&M characters. These are the ceramic coaster blinks. These are Cricut coaster blinks, compatible with Fusible Ink. They're about 3.6 inches. So when we design it, I'll show you about that. It comes in a 4-pack, which is perfect. We also have our tape, just in case we need it. I don't think we'll need this, but this is special transfer tape that you will want to use. We will also be using our cute baby little 6x7 Easy Press. Now, keep in mind, this Friday is when the Easy Press Mini comes out. This thing is so freaking cute. And it's great for Infusible Ink and stuff like shoes or coasters or things like that, which is a lot of fun. Other things we're going to be using, of course, is we need to have a sheet of 80-pound cardstock ready to go when we actually fuse this. And you want to make sure that we followed the guide, which we will go over. So as we get started, I am going to open up Cricut Design Space, and I will share my desktop because we do have to show you, I want to show you how I got these files ready, because I do have the M&M files you guys can get on my Patreon page. So let me go ahead and go in. I'm going to kind of close out of some stuff I don't need open so my computer runs a little bit faster here. And
So to do that,
let me go here. We'll share it here in one sec, guys. So we are going to be on what's called Switcher Cast. This does make the system run a little bit slower, so just keep in mind if it's a little slower, we get a little behind. That is why.
that one.
So I'm going to open up the M&M coaster. We'll get it up on the screen here in one quick second. And I already have these files ready to go. So these are the 4 M&M files we're doing. We have the yellow, the red, the green, and the blue. But I wanted to show you the process I had to go through. Because we're doing Cricut Infusible Ink, we are going to be doing what's called kind of like a puzzle piece. When you talk, can you turn off your mic?
Oh, I can't. Sorry.
Thank you. No big deal. So we will be doing kind of what I call a puzzle piece, which is basically instead of layering each layer and having our infusible ink stack up, we're going to cut it and fit it together like a puzzle. So I'm going to start a new project. Once again, if you have questions, let us know by putting it. So we are first going to bring in a shape, which is 3.6. So I'm going to bring in a circle here. This is going to be essentially the bodies of the M&Ms. Our coasters are 3.6. You could keep these a little smaller, but I want them to go edge to edge. So we're just going to put this off to the side. Now, my SVG file I give you comes in like this. So here it is. So this is all grouped together, and we need to resize individually and do what's called slicing to kind of make this a puzzle piece. So I'm going to ungroup this first by making sure a box is around him. I just right click on my computer and hit ungroup. And now each one of these are independently from each other. So I'm just going to show you with this one because he has the most layers. These other 3 are pretty easy, so I'm going to get rid of those for now. So right now this guy is still grouped. You can tell this because it's all moving together. So we want to start making our M&M and slicing him. And the best way to think about this, is there any way you can have it ready to it where it just goes back up to me and you instead
sure
of picture in picture?
Absolutely.
Thank you. The best way for us to explain slicing, and I'll explain this to you, is think of it as a cookie cutter. So you have your cookie, goodness here. You're going to take a cutter, and everything you push through it, it's slicing through that. So when we start slicing, it's really important to understand slicing can only work with 2 layers, so nothing can be grouped, nothing can be together like that, and it can only use 2 layers. And I'll explain why this is important. So I just wanted you guys to know that. Let's jump back over to the computer. All right, so here is our M&M guy we're doing. So he is the yellow M&M. I'm just gonna select my circle. Come up here to where it says line type and fill. We're gonna just change it to yellow because he's the yellow M&M. Here is my M&M guy. Now, I do want to try to fill the circle, and because he's grouped, he will stay in proportion if I move him up and down. And I want him to be about 3 inches high, so up here there is a size. And so I'm gonna go 3.0. And for those that are wondering, I don't know if anyone is, I am using the brand new Cricut desktop app instead of going online, so this way it doesn't affect my computer speed as much. So, all right. So right now he's not perfectly centered in there. If there is any questions, just let me know. I'm so sorry. So he's not perfectly centered. So we're gonna draw a box around him just like this. Let go, and up here where there's an align, we're gonna hit align and center. This is gonna center his face perfectly in that circle. So right now, even though it looks like it's ready to go, if I was to hit make it, it's going to break up everything. It's going to break up this white, it's going to break up the black, the red, and the yellow. Here's the deal. We want to have as less layers as we want on Infusible Ink. So I'm going to be doing some slicing because if you look at this, the Infusible Ink is white. So anything that's essentially white, we don't really need because we want to show it through from the coaster. So we need to slice it to where it will see through that. And we want the black to be sliced into the yellow so we're not overheating our infusible ink.
That's right.
All right, so let's go back to the computer and I'm gonna show you how to do this. So we're gonna select the guy's little face, here it is, and I am going to ungroup this because that's all been grouped together. Now everything is independent. Yes, Sean?
People are asking, can you use the original Easy Press with this?
Yes.
And that is correct, you can.
Yes, and we'll show you how in just a second. So we've now ungrouped it and we want to make sure it's all ungrouped. Every single layer is ungrouped. So if you have to keep hitting ungroup, do that. But essentially, we want to make sure that it's ungrouped, every single piece. All right, so now we want to cut out what is going to go through down to the black and white. And I'm going to show you how to do this. First thing is we're going to turn off anything that is not black. So essentially the red, the lips, we're going to turn off the white M, the white eyes. So all we should have is these two layers, the black and the yellow. So now I can draw a box around this, and we still have some stuff hidden behind there, which are these tiny little eyes, so I'm going to click on those. So now we're only working with two layers. We're working with the black layer and the yellow layer. So now all I have to do is draw a box around it and hit slice. Now we can move the black layer over here, get rid of all of that other layer. So when it slices, it's slicing through the black and the yellow and it's giving me identical copy of each of those. So now we have this, but now we also need to cut out the M underneath his eyes. Well, we have that hidden down here, so we need to click on this little eyeball here and it brings the M, but where is the M at? Well, the M is actually hidden behind the yellow. So we're gonna go up to where it says, so we want to hit this yellow circle guy, and up here where it says arrange, we want to send that yellow guy to the back, and now my M&M pops up. So guess what? All we have to do is draw a square around it and slice it again, because we want that M to be sliced through. So I'm gonna get rid of the M, because we don't need that, get rid of the yellow. And to demonstrate what I'm talking about, I'm going to turn some settings on here for you, and I'm going to show the grid, which I usually don't like. But anytime you see the grid under your pattern, so you see the grid here underneath this little yellow M&M guy, that means it's open. That means we're going to be cutting open that area and that paper is going to be gone or, out. Okay, so this black part we want to put back on here, but we need to bring it to the front again. We want it to be on the top. So send to front. And then we're going to line it just up here like it was a puzzle piece. But we still have two other areas we need to work on. So first, let's unhide this little red lip. Once again, it's hidden behind that black layer. So we need to make sure to go to that red lips, go up to arrange, send to the front, and now it's on the top. Because whatever is on the top of this, just keep this in mind, whatever's on the top layer, when we slice through, that's what it's cutting. Think of it as a cookie cutter, so it's gonna go through the red and the black. So we want that red on the top. So let's go back over here. Now that we have the red, we wanna cut that red out of this black because we don't wanna layer too much infusible ink. So just like we did before, we're gonna hide the yellow piece by the little eyeball, draw a square around it. Down here, we have two layers, so slice. And now we can take this red piece out of the way. And there's a little piece of his mouth here. We don't need that black piece anymore, just like that. So now we can bring back up the yellow, and the little red lips, we can now put right back where we wanted it. So the next thing we need to do is, he should have some white eyes in here. I think I accidentally deleted them. So we're gonna bring back up the file so I have it. Here he is right here. I'm gonna ungroup these M&Ms because I accidentally got rid of that and I actually need those. And here's that guy. We're just gonna take his eyes. Remember, we did him at 3 inches. Okay. So now I can ungroup this and grab these parts. We don't need the black part. I do need I don't need the, oops. I don't need some of these, so I just want that white part. So ungroup, get rid of the lips, the M. Just keep ungrouping when it does that. We don't need this, but we will need these and the little eyeballs. So what I want to do is move back his eyes back into here. And his eyeballs, which are going to be white and go through to the bottom, are going to go right here in the center. Because we need to cut this through to show through. So we're going to turn off the yellow circle, turn off the red lips, and now all we have is the white circles and the black. Now, please note here, you guys can tell, see how right here, that's solid white. That means it's a layer. Where down here, you can see in his mouth that the grid's under there. That means it's a cut open space. So once again, we're going to draw an X around it, slice, get rid of the white layer, get rid of this other layer, and now see how there's a grid, it's open again. Yes, Sean?
I just want to, you may have already answered this, but I'm just kind of double checking. So are you doing this so the colors don't layer?
Correct.
Okay, there you go.
So think of it like a puzzle.
Yes.
All right, guys, so now we can turn on all of our layers. And these black, we don't need anymore. Here's his black here. So the big thing is if we were to make it now, it's going to look a lot better. However, see how the black eyeballs are not where we want them to be? Everything else looks good. We need those little black eyeballs to be inside those eyeballs. So to do that, we have to attach that. So we're going to turn off the yellow layer, turn off the red layer, and we're going to draw a box around both of these two layers and hit attach. This makes it one unit. So now, when we cut, we have all these layers. When we make it, everything will fit like a puzzle. So we have the main M&M, that's open, the red lips, and of course, the black. So I know that's a lot to take in. There was a lot of slicing, but essentially, this is how you can piece it together. You can layer it. I just choose not to because I want it to be a nice flat surface, and the fusible ink will go on top of each other, but we're doing red on black, so I wanted to be careful with that. Okay, so before we start cutting, Sean, what questions are there? Is there any?
I think we're doing okay as we go.
So I get slicing can kind of be one of those things that can be a little confusing. So that's why I wanted to show that. I'm going to get rid of the grid because the grid drives me crazy. I'm so sorry. It's just my deal. So I'm going to go to settings, no grid. All right, so I've already sliced all of these. So when I hit make it, it's going to cut all of the faces here. I have my red M&M with the red tongue for the yellow M&M, the green M&M, and the blue M&M, okay? So don't forget that we're doing infusible ink. So it's really important when we cut this, we have to mirror this, okay? So, because it's going to go mirrored with the, on coasters, wait, do coasters, yeah, because coasters have to go, yeah, it's going to be a reverse of it. So I guess it really, no, it wouldn't matter because the M&Ms you want going the right way.
That's correct.
Yeah. So we're going to start cutting these, and we want to make sure it's mirrored. Now, there was a question earlier, Sean, about can you do this with your Easy Press 1, correct?
That's correct.
So let me go ahead and share my desktop. And there is a guide. It's called the Heat Guide. The link is down below in the links, but you can actually follow these steps and it will tell you exactly what you need to do. So if you have the original Cricut Easy Press, you click there. You go down to your heat transfer material, and we are using ink transfer sheets. You select your base material, ceramic coaster, hit apply, and it tells you everything you need to do. Okay, so like for me, we're going to be using Easy Press, and we'll go through this again. But for right now, what we're going to do is start cutting. So let's go back over here. I'm going to bring out my machine. Can you help him, Sean? Mm-hmm. Picture in picture is kind of hard, Ryan. I do it all the time too.
Okay,
so I'm going to get everything ready here to go. This here is the ones we're going to be using. Now, when you open your infusible inks, I want to show you a couple things here. Number one is it comes in a black pouch. And that's really important because that black pouch will have a little, you know, like when you get a new product and there's the thing that says do not eat this, you're gonna wanna keep that. So, I'm gonna open this. So this is the true blue. This is how it will always come in this black container. I keep this, so all I do is I trim off a little bit off the top. And inside you're gonna find your Cricut Infusible ink. You're gonna find butcher paper. They give you some test material, but this is what you wanna keep. And why do we wanna keep that, Sean?
It's a desiccant thing that keeps moisture from entering.
And that's very important.
Importante.
So I'm gonna start cutting my Infusible ink sheets because we want to save as much of this, so we only need to cut what we're gonna use. So we're gonna start with this blue one, and we only need 4 inches by 4 inches. You can either follow the grids on the back, and this has 2 sheets in it, or you can use a cutter. Now, I choose not to use a cutter just because I don't want to nick this, because there's already some little tiny spots, and you want to make sure you don't nick that, because if you nick that, you might ruin your... Okay, so we'll just do 5. All right, so you go back on us while I do this, Sean, because this is going to take a bit of time to cut these. 1, 3, 4. So I'm just cutting them, and then what we're gonna do is oops. All right, Sean, you wanna go back right here real quick? So we can put all of this back in its original purchase, or in its original packaging. So I'm just gonna very carefully handle it, roll it up. If you have any rings on or long nails, I would be careful handling your transfer sheets. We'll use the butcher paper out of the last one. This will just go straight back into the black packaging. And then I just put this and the little moisture wicking thing back in the center, and then put it right back into the box. So this is just gonna make your transfer sheet stay the driest, which is very important and something you wanna do. Right, Shawnee?
That's correct. So Stephanie, you said, so it's normal to have spots. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
So sometimes on these transfer sheets, what she's talking about is there is some spots on here. It is normal. If it has a lot of spots, I would definitely look at, see, did we use this and didn't put it back in its sheet? But that's okay. I would definitely, if it has a lot of spots, you can see on this one here, there's a little spot there. I just would be careful using that in an area that you would normally use it, just because it will not transfer that color over. So this one would normally have, what would I have done without these grid marks from Cricut? What? Are you laughing at me?
Oh.
And the only reason I'm cutting these now is I don't want to cut them after the fact. A lot of people, I was cutting it after the fact, and I found that this was easier. However, I do believe Cricut will tell you try to not handle it as much, and I think that's just because if your hands are wet, that's bad. You do not want wet hands. You want to make sure your hands are dry, and you just want to make sure that you're making sure that nothing scrapes it or anything like that. All right, so this one is called Bright Green. And I think these will be in the Cricut store around October, maybe towards the end of October. Michael's had first initial, like, go on them. Oops. Well, I ripped this one open, but that's okay. So once again, this is a brand new package. And so we have it in its nice black packaging. I get this question all the time about what is Infusible ink. And essentially it's sublimation ink on cardstock that they've specially made for Cricut. So it is something that's unique to them. So it's pretty cool stuff. So once again, we're just gonna need 5 inches of this. So can I have you hold that, Sean, while I do this? It'll make it look so much easier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll go up half just so I have enough room. Okay, so now we can roll that back up real nice and carefully. The butcher paper is still in the center. So when we get to my black, we will use that butcher paper in that one. So we're gonna put all of this back in the center and that moisture stuff. And we can do
Joanne
this.
is asking, is the Fusible ink only allowed to be used by the Easy Press?
Nope.
You need an iron?
Technically, yeah.
Technically, you could use an iron, but you want to make sure you have a good, even heating source.
I think the reason why they say the Easy Press, Neat Press is an iron, you're gonna have to get up to 400 degrees because you do need to get this at 400 degrees. You can get it under 400 degrees, but it's basically you're putting more time on your clock.
Yep. You'll find that on the original, it's like 300 seconds versus it'll probably be less if you're using the number 2.
Yeah. So this one has 2 patterns and a yellow we need. So we just need that yellow. So I'm gonna have Sean hold this once again for me. Be careful with it. You could scratch it.
All right.
So that's a typical thing for you to naturally do. You just want to be really careful because you could scratch anything off on a rough surface. And I will be honest with you guys, right now, since we can't get these on Cricut, we can't use coupons and stuff. So it is a little bit of, they're expensive. So you definitely want to make it last. Sometimes I think we get rid of our vinyl extra pieces or stuff. You're going to want to make this last, hence why I am taking all the precautions of making sure I put it back into its original box and all that good jazz. Because it is almost like working with cardstock. It's not, vinyl is very thin, like heat transfer vinyl and regular vinyl, where this feels like it's almost like a heavy cardstock. So once again, we're gonna put these back in, put it back in its original box, and close it up. All right, so the last color is my black, which is part of this set. And I think I might have used all the black. So let me, oh, it's brown. It looks brown, but it's black. It's a weird thing about I guess that's not weird. It's Infusible ink will always show as a little bit of a lighter, not as saturated. So for example, this one has black, but it doesn't show as bright. So we need 3 inches by 8 inches on this, Sean. So I'm gonna have you hold that for me. Scissors. So 1, 2, 3. I'll just do all the way across. All right. We are ready to cut. So I'm going to open up my Cricut here, make sure it's plugged in. Make sure all of it's plugged in because it is not showing. Bless you.
Oh, pardon me, sorry.
Why is this? Oh, I bet you
that one's not
Sean and Ryan are unplugging my stuff on me.
It could be. We could be, couldn't we?
You did, didn't you? Can you plug it back in because it won't work without...
Not that one. It should be the black one.
Sorry guys, I thought this was all plugged in because it's...
Right here. I didn't even know it was unplugged. Shame on me.
So, what does this go to? Well, hopefully that didn't need to be needed.
What was it?
It's a white cord, I have no idea.
It could be the extension to the other one, but they would have turned that light off, so it must be something different.
It's to this phone, which you do not have plugged in anyways. So, you're gonna die on that phone.
Okay.
Sorry guys, I thought all of this was plugged in and ready to go. Apologize. Alright, so now we are in business, or should be. Alright, well maybe not.
Are you still not getting any power?
Nope. So can you make sure it's plugged in correctly? Here it is right here. Sorry guys.
Yep, it's all the way on.
Weird. Okay, will you just plug it directly into the wall for me? There you go.
Thanks.
If we have one over there. Yay!
Try that. Is that even?
Sure we're plugged in everywhere?
Yeah, it's in a power. It's in a power strip. Is this the right one for that?
Yeah. I grabbed it out of my wall. Weird. I've never had this not turn on. This is the weirdest thing. I'm gonna go grab another cord. Do you want to check for any questions while I troubleshoot this?
Okay.
Excuse me. Did maybe he accidentally shut off that whole grid over
No,
there?
because if his nothing else would be working because
Oh,
this
that's
power
right.
trips in.
Weird. Well, guys.
Bad power supply.
Could be.
All right, I'm coming to everybody's rescue. I need a timeout. Yes, I do, Jackie. Thanks.
What?
Jackie says I need a timeout. It's not, Diana. No light on the block. So maybe a bad power supply.
I just used it. That's
I know you.
weird.
He just used it this morning, and last night too.
Oh well.
We'll
Stuff
try-
happens,
we
right?
We have another one.
Can we plug that in? If this doesn't work, I'm gonna have to grab my other machine.
Then it's the machine. Oh no, there would be, because there's no power light.
Yeah, it's definitely.
There it goes.
Yay!
Yay, we got power.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. It was working earlier, so let's hop back over to the computer, Shawnee,
You bet.
because we do need to mirror these. So right now, you can see on the computer, we want to make sure all of our mirrors are on. Okay, that's really important. So we'll double check that. We're gonna hit continue. It's gonna read for that machine. And we're gonna choose Infusible Ink transfer sheets. And we have everything ready. We just need to load it. Its first color is that black. So I'm gonna go ahead and place the black on the mat. And it does put color side up. We're gonna put this into my Cricut Maker. I'll turn it this way so you guys can see it while it cuts. And this will be the one that cuts the longest because it has all the faces. we're just gonna hit the Cricut flashing link.
Yeah, we can't see that, but that's okay.
Oh, did you want to go to the desktop because you just went back off
No.
of it?
Nope, we're good here.
So it's gonna show you, it's right now it's trying to figure out exactly what we're finalizing, cutting, all of that stuff. So once it's ready, you'll get a countdown. So I'm gonna cut all these layers.
Yeah, I never fold it. Oh,
Yeah, it just keeps going back and forth. Do you want to go back up to us for a second? You gotta love training, guys. We're in training mode.
always take this off, so the blue. Now that. Now take it.
There we go. All right. He'll get it, guys.
Yeah, he'll get it.
It takes Sean a while to get to it, too. So, a couple of tips as I'm going through this whole process. Number one, this does not weed like a typical like vinyl or heat transfer. So you want to be really careful. You almost, I'll show you, you're going to bend aside and it's going to pop up. We're going to weed it like that. It's very much like the feel of cardstock. Do not use stuff like this. Because what will happen is as you are weeding it, you're gonna nick some of that color off the sublimation and it will damage it. So you gotta think of this as in a way that it is essentially printed on this, and if you get it wet or if you accidentally scrape it, it will impact the transfer of that color. And it's really important to test this out and to follow that heat transfer guide, because we wanna make sure that it is we are applying the right amount of heat for the right amount of length, because this is all about bright, vibrant colors. When I was on Michael's today, I was reading some of the reviews of people that weren't happy with Infusible ink, and I think it's just because the box itself doesn't do a great job showing you the instructions. And if you use that heat transfer guide, you're gonna get much better results. Basically, if you're using anything besides an Easy Press 2 that gets up to that 400 degrees, you're really going to want to test your heat settings. So let's pop back down to this camera and we'll show you where we're at. So it is currently in the process of cutting their little faces. And you want to be very careful when we weed this, and I'll show you why in here a sec, because we don't want to get rid of the wrong areas. So I'm probably not going to weed this one until we get back into the image so I know I'm weeding the right areas. Once this is done, the little in and out key, which you guys can unfortunately see, will blink, letting me know it is done. It will also say on the screen that it is 100%. So let's show them the screen there, Sean.
Do what you're doing. Take that, now that one.
There you go.
There you go.
Okay, so right now it says we're 100% done cutting, and so we can now eject this out. We are gonna wait to weed this because I do wanna get back to the main screen, and so we're gonna follow the instructions on Design Space, which basically tells me to load my red. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on here. We're gonna put this right here. Once again, if you have any rings on or anything, I'd be very, very careful on this because it will easily, so you can see I have a ripple in mine, so I'm gonna lift this, and that ripple is already kind of, I'm gonna slowly, do you have a, excuse me, can I grab my brayer?
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely.
So if you have a bubble like this, you're gonna wanna use like a brayer to try to get it out. Do not use your scraper tool, do not use anything that can scrape that ink. So I would have a brayer tool, just like this, to make sure if you have a ripple, you're pushing it down. If you use a scraping tool, you are going to scrape that ink off, which is gonna be super sad, because you're gonna have to cut a new piece. So don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do it, Sean. Don't do it. 9. So once again, we are just gonna hit that little Cricut head, and it's gonna start cutting this. Now this one will have a little bit of the red lips from the yellow guy, and it's gonna have some of the actual red M&M. Any questions, Sean?
Has anyone had the problem of cutting through the liner?
I have not, but I always use the Infusible Ink setting. So if it's cutting through your liner and you are using that Infusible Ink setting on your Cricut machines, I would definitely take a look at your settings on your machine, because it shouldn't be doing that. All right, so this one is close to being done here. We're gonna go ahead and hit eject. We have our M&M guy, and we have a little bit of those lips, so I'm going to take it off my mat. And then we are going to grab yellow as our next color. So I'll put that on here. We're going to put it into the machine, load it.
Deb, that roller tool is just a brayer from Cricut.
Yep, here it is.
So Diana's asking, what do you use on an Explorer Air 2?
So Explorer Air 2, you should be able to go into setting it to other. Once you've set it to other, it will bring you to a screen for you to define other. And you're going to choose Cricut transfer sheets, Infusible Ink transfer sheets. So anytime, do you want to go on us really quick? Anytime you're using a Cricut Explorer Air 2, if it's not one of the defined cardstock, vinyl, heat transfer vinyl, all of those, it is going to be other. When you set your dial to other, it basically tells the machine, okay, they're using something different, and you're going to hit options. It will go into other, and you're going to choose what that other is. Okay, we just have 2 more to cut, and then we're going to start doing all the fun stuff. Does that make sense about the other? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Can you use another cutter other than Cricut?
You can. You can use this on pretty much any cutter. Once again, though, you're going to want to test your cut settings. So if, let's say, you're using a Cameo or a Brother Scan & Cut, I would take a little piece of it and figure out what those settings are, because unfortunately you're not going to know the settings. You're going to have to figure that out on your own. A lot of these computer systems now have the settings built into the machine to make it really easy. So you're just going to have to play around with it. I will tell you it has the feel of cardstock, but once again, if you go too much, it will cut through that liner.
Yes, it will.
All right, and the last color we will be doing is blue. So let me go ahead and get this one ready. Now, if you are drinking pop, soda, anything like that, just be very, I can't stress that enough, guys. The condensation on the cup will get your hands wet, and it can transfer onto these sheets. So this is really about being extra careful with it, because you got to remember this is essentially just a layer of ink on top of this that they've printed in. It's not, it's very different than essentially iron-on or vinyl or stuff like that. All right, last one. And then we will be ready to go.
Some people are having some confusion on blades. I guess there's a blade that has a gray cap, and there's blades that come in a 2-pack, and some of the blades are for the older machines, and if you're using those on the maker, it goes too far.
So
some of the girls are trying to explain exactly.
So there's essentially a way to easiest to do it is fine tip blade is the most common blade. Deep cut blade is essentially the fine tip blade. It's just the housing itself, but we can explain that here to you guys. So basically, just look at your blades. The housing is what's important. If you have a black housing, that means it's deep cut blade, which means its blade won't go as far in. The other one should all be now the fine tip blade, which is the German carbide blade. So it might be the housing you're using could be confusing people. Okay, guys, so I'm going to move the machine out of the way. We are all done cutting. So let's move this bad boy out of our way.
The bad boy.
All right, so let's go ahead and start weeding it. The first one we're going to start with is this yellow guy. And he has 3 different pieces. and I'm going to show you how I weed stuff. So we're going to start with the base, and this is him. You might need to zoom in a little bit.
Sure can.
So when you are weeding this, the best way I recommend doing this is to almost bend it in one corner, and you'll see it come up like so. And it's very almost rigid like a cardstock. So we're gonna just take that all around, and now we have this part. So we need to take away that M&M and everything on the inside. So same thing, this kind of curves naturally. Very carefully, just pop one side up. You do not want to crease your transfer sheet though. So I just take it out like this, but you don't want to like crease it to get a side to pop up. It naturally curls on itself, and you just want that to pop out naturally. Once again, I cannot stress enough, don't use a pokey tool. It is very easy to do what with the pokey tool, Sean?
Scratch it, nick it, put
Yes.
holes in it. Did I just miss it? Did he say cardstock?
It feels like cardstock.
Yeah, this feels like cardstock. It basically kind of is, just with the ink already printed right on it.
So the reason I always say it's very different like cardstock or something is because if not, people will start treating it like iron-on and vinyl. It's very different. Okay, so we've done that. He's all weeded. Here is his lips. So we're gonna go ahead and start that in a side, just like that. It pops open easily. Just that little piece there. And then I am going to pay very close attention to what is being kept on this black. So we're going to bring it up on here. We know that this whole part of him is going away, the back part. So I'm just going to, once again, kind of bend up an area in the corner until it pops up, just like that. And slowly lift it up. And if it tears, it will do that sometimes, no big worries. You just don't want it to tear, obviously, in the areas that you need it. So we need to keep, essentially, the outline, but get rid of this and all of the in-between. So this little mouth here needs to be gone, because that's where his tongue's gonna go. We need to get rid of, in this big area here, this will be down to the coaster. So we can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. Now, as you get into some of these tighter spaces, you might have to use a pokey tool. I would just be extremely careful. The best way to do this is to pierce it, and then it should pop up on its own. So I'll show you what I did there. Here is this side. I'm just gonna pierce inside of it and lift it up, and then by doing that, it naturally just pops up like that. So we're gonna do the same thing in here. Pierce it.
Oh, thanks, Melody, for the super chat.
Thanks, Mel. We're gonna pierce it, and sometimes it'll just pick up on its own. Okay, so we are all weeded.
Can I see that? I'm gonna show that up close.
Yep.
So we can see that. I think you should be able to see that.
So before we do this, we are gonna set some stuff up here, guys. So I'll put these up here for now. So we are gonna get ready. We are using the Easy Press Baby here. So we already know that this needs to be set at 400 degrees. Oh wait, do we know that? Let's take a peek. How do we find out, Sean?
We go to Easy Press
Okay,
settings.
so we are using an Easy Press 2, right? This one's already plugged in, Sean, it's good.
Oh, is it? Okay, put it so it doesn't keep
Yeah,
rotting.
nope, we're good. So Easy Press settings. So we do know that it is a Infusible ink transfer sheet, and our base material is a ceramic coaster. Hit apply, and it tells me everything.
I'm gonna change it. It's flickering our lights.
Okay, so we know that it needs to be at 400 degrees. So on an Easy Press Baby here, if I press the, just a sec here, Sean's playing some swappy doos. If I press this here, this is the temperature. Just a sec, guys. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
1 sec while he does this. Gotta love lives.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna press this here. This tells me I can move up to 400 degrees. We know that it's going to be 240 degrees or 240 seconds, which is the max. So you are going to be putting it on ceramic coasters a long time. So we'll go all the way up to 240 degrees and let it. Now this is the baby, so it heats up pretty quick. I call it the baby. It's 6x7. It's not the mini. The mini is itty bitty baby. But what I like about this one, the 6x7, is it heats up pretty quick. All right, so we're gonna let it heat up and do its thing. And we're gonna go ahead and, can you show my desktop again, Sean? We're gonna go ahead and get this part set up. So this is what is called the sandwich. And you want to follow this to a T, because if you do not do this right, you will get an imprint on your Easy Press mat that I've done. So when we build this, it starts with the base, piece of cardstock, okay? The next thing is gonna be the design. So we are gonna be doing essentially starting with the yellow, then going up to the black, so on and so forth, because we're gonna fit this in. So we're gonna start with the yellow. So essentially this would be, the design is what's going down. Here's our coaster. We have a flat and a shiny side. So you want this to be lined up to your shiny side. So this is where your tape can come into play, but if you don't move it around, you don't really need the tape. I wouldn't worry about it. Now you can see I cut mine a little bit bigger because I kind of wanted it to be a little big on here. So the next thing then is going to be butcher paper. Now our butcher paper is inside our Easy Press transfer sheet box. So they give you butcher paper inside here. So we'll just grab some of it. Yay, here's our butcher paper. So we're just gonna grab the butcher paper, and then the last thing is this. So if you ever have a question, can you go back over to our computer there? Just look at this. We have 400 degrees. It's gonna be for 240 seconds. Stacking order is go always to the bottom. Your Easy Press mat, 80-pound white cardstock, the transfer sheet design facing up, the blank facing down, butcher paper, Easy Press 2, and then a lint-free cloth if you need it. So this is going to heat a long time because it has to go through the coaster all the way down and heat it that way. So we're gonna go ahead and start this. We're gonna bring this over. We're gonna place it on here and hit go. And try not to move it too much because that can move your...
Yeah, it may move your item. If you're I know last time when we used the a big one, it's heavy enough where you can just let it go and let it be. It's
let
heavy.
it be.
Let it go, let it be. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's singing Let It Go, guys. So I am going to wait in between each of these layers to cool. So we'll do this. We'll move on to the red, the green, the blue, then finish their faces, and then that last guy's tongue. Because I do want this to cool in between. Be very careful because this will be hot coming up.
Very hot. Some people like to have little silicone grabbers. Like I have a set upstairs. Those would work nice. When you layer, do you put all of them on at once?
No, you would end up layering just like you would. You do each layer independently from each other.
Yep.
I'm telling you guys, when you do this, 240 seconds seems like forever. You can go on us because we're not even halfway there.
No.
It seems like forever when you're live.
Yeah, let me see if we've missed anything here, guys.
I'm hoping these turn out because I had a big idea and I'm like, ooh, I don't know. We're at 160 seconds. Are you looking for questions? There is, just so you guys know, because this is obviously using multiple layers, but in Cricut Design Space, which has 100,000 images in it, Sean.
Are you kidding?
100,000 images in Cricut Design Space now, but there is a ton of coaster files to use for free if you're an Access member. So definitely take a look at that. So you guys do not need to put any pressure on this. So I'm just holding this in place. If this was heavy enough, like Sean had said, I could just let it go and do its thing because it doesn't require any pressure.
So Renee says you can do it all at once. You put all the pieces onto the yellow like a puzzle, if that makes sense. And it's all in one stop shot.
So how would you do that? Because it's stuck on there. You would peel it all off and put it onto the yellow? I guess you could do that. I'd be afraid of curling it or making it...
Yes, Vicky, you can. It'd be 360 degrees for 300 seconds because it's at a lower temperature.
We're still only at 90 seconds. Isn't that crazy? You could do them all at once. So like Renee was saying, you could puzzle piece it together and lift it off of their transfer sheets and do it all at once. Mm-hmm. I just don't want to nick the black because the black is so... I mean, if you nick a black, it's going to show.
Yep.
But yes, you could do it all at once.
Yeah. Yes, you can use a heat press, and you could do them all at once. All four.
We'll do the next one all at once just to show you how that's done.
Yeah.
So the Patreon, the M&M files are on my Patreon. So if you're a Patreon, you have access to this. 240 seconds feels like forever.
It is forever. Well,
that's 3 minutes.
4.
Is it 4 minutes?
6 into 24.
Oh yeah, but still 4 minutes. That seems like nothing, but it seems forever.
It does when you're on TV.
When we're not on TV.
We're use a regular heat press. Yes, you can, Sabina.
But you would have to test the settings because they don't actually give you the settings for heat press.
Should be pretty close to the same.
So once again, this is going to be hot. Hot, hot, hot.
I know, Mary Pat. You have to do one, and then you got to do them all.
Nine, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Happy birthday! Okay, so let's look at this. We're going to remove... Oh my gosh, it is so... I don't want to touch it because it's going to be so hot. Okay, so I'm just going to touch the paper, not the actual coaster. You know, keep this butcher paper. And we're going to turn it around. Oh, look at that!
Isn't that awesome?
That's so bright.
And the cool thing is that when you see how dull looking the actual paper is, on the ink on the paper, then when it changes.
So cool.
Awesome.
Let me grab my silicone cooling mat, so I'm going to put this guy over here.
Yeah,
and then the next one we're going to show everyone is the how you do it all in one.
Miss Gabicki.
Okay, so the yellow is, he's chillaxing everyone. Okay, so we're going to put this stuff. So I'm going to move this off to the side, Sean.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is very hot.
And we're going to grab the next one, and we're going to do it all in one fail swoop this time. Whoever asked that, can it be done? Yes, it can.
It can be. Love these pads. Hot on one side, nice and cool on the other.
Yes.
Even after 400 degrees, it's still nice.
So we're going to start with the red. We are going to start weeding it, so I'll put this off to the side. And once again, I'm going to start in a corner, just kind of bend it, pops up. So I had a question while I'm weeding this. Who's getting the Easy Press Mini? It's on my birthday. September 6th is my birthday. I know I'm getting it. I just told Sean I'm getting it. He was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't question me.
Carol goes, she cringes when you throw that stuff away. I mean, how hard?
And I paid I paid $700 for all this stuff, you guys. It was bad. I have an issue. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'm going to go back.
Yes, Rhonda, you could use the 10 by 12 and do multiples. Yeah.
Yes, you could. Mm-hmm.
And it's heavy enough where you can just put it on there and walk away, but don't walk very far.
Don't walk very far.
No.
All right, so we need to keep his eyelids, which is up here, and then this little piece here. So we're going to remove.
Your shirt looks like it came from an adult coloring book.
Very well could have. So it's going to keep the eyelids. So if his eyelids are still trying to pop out, so we're just going to be very careful.
You could use Infusible Ink on the markers.
Oh, I could. And then his little eyelids up here are coming out. So I'm going to take that out. Take that out. His tongue stays in, but the black part comes out, so this part will come out. And then the smile underneath comes out, and then the big M comes out. Okay, so.
We just got a Patreon member.
Oh, sweet, thank you.
I'll tell her, it went by, so I'll tell you in a second. It was Jackie Rose, thanks Jackie.
So I'm gonna start weeding the black, and to Renee's point, we're gonna do this all in one fail swoop so you can see. Yes, Sean.
Lean in. RJ, this is Kenny and my nephew, his blood nephew Ryan. He has joined us in the group to do stuff with us.
Him and Sean are basically video production department. Aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, so his little tongue's gonna come out, so we're gonna pop out his tongue. Yay! So now we need to point out all the points that are not going to be in here. So if you need to use a pokey tool, you can. Just be very, very careful with it because you do not want to nick it. So the parts that are gonna come out are these underneath his eyes. So this will come out because that's part of the white. This will come out.
Now he wants some M&Ms. I know.
So then his little eyes are going to come out. So all I do is I just pierce it with a pointy tool, and then they naturally just pop out. Just don't scrape your top. So by just pointing, like doing that, it easily pops them out to where you don't have to crease your paper. So this little point in here needs to come out. So I just...
Thanks, Catherine, for the super chat.
So we're going to take this part out. And then these come out right in here. So we're going to take out.
Wow. Loretta says she went to her local HSN outlet and scored the 10x12 Easy Press 2 with the mat and a sample of HTV for $112.
Wow.
That is a good buy.
Okay, so now it
Yes, sure,
is... We are going to just bring this out like a puzzle. So we're going to take out all of these little pieces. And then just put them in here. Just like a puzzle. Just be very, very careful not to hit it with... That's why I tend not to do this, because if you accidentally hit this or crease it, you could damage the...
So Catherine, yeah, we are kind of layering. This one is kind of a step without having to layer. The first one we will have to layer. So we wanted to try this one and see what it's like.
The only reason I don't like this is it's fine. It's just if you accidentally crease your paper or your hands are wet, you could compromise your color. But essentially, all I'm doing is putting it together back in a puzzle. So this is why the slicing was so important.
Team Virgo.
I'm a Virgo.
Yes, I know.
Who said?
Since yours is September 6th, Tamika is on the 13th. Milady's on 11.
Virgos are the best. I'm just saying.
Somebody was on the 8th, which our friends are also on the 8th. Two of them. Are you a Virgo? Ryan's a Virgo, but he's late August.
So this is a perfect example of why I don't like to peel it, because little thin lines like this, which I can hopefully fix, but they will flake off. So unfortunately, he might not have the definition there. So this is a perfect example why I don't like to do that. You can see in his eye there where it flaked off, and now it's not going to be black. So you can grab, what, Sean?
You can grab a little bit of the black.
To try to fix it.
Try to fix it. But it's going to be, you have a black marker.
Well, you'd have to use the black fine tip if I have
Yeah, the black fine tip. I don't know if, did we get...
There they are.
Nancy and Jans are both on the 7th.
So I'm just going to hit this really quick with a little bit of the black here just to hopefully fix that. And if it doesn't fix it, oh well. This is, you guys can see why I'm really careful on not doing it this way, because you can easily harm it. Okay, so let's build our thing again. We're gonna grab a following the sandwich guide. So it starts with this. We're gonna use cardstock. I am gonna use my transfer tape a little bit on this one because since it is peeling up a little bit, it makes me nervous. Where is the transfer tape, Tony? Do you have it by chance? Did it get moved somehow? There, found it.
No, we don't. That's not possible. Charlotte, yes, we are on YouTube. Let me give you the link for that real quick.
So it goes, remember, coaster up. Or no, sorry. It goes this down and we'll flip it around, but I'm gonna make sure it's on there. So we're gonna place it here. A little bit of an overhang around the whole thing. And I'm gonna use a little bit of transfer tape just to make sure we don't
make it move.
Since we are using the okay, so next then is the butcher paper, which I have over here. And then we can go. How many degrees again? Or how long?
6 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes.
4 minutes, sorry, 4 minutes. I'm thinking the other way around. 4 minutes at 400.
So I'm just gonna, since I have it moved, I'm just gonna do this so we can do other stuff. So I'm gonna start weeding the next one. Sean can go up on me if you guys want, or we can do it on that.
Yep,
what questions do you have while I weed this green?
Let me double check here. Everybody's talking about birthdays.
Happy birthday!
Mine's not until March. I'm a Pisces.
We're good together.
We share a birthday with Lucille Ball. Oh, Mama Disney, nice. 230 are watching and only 65 thumbs up.
How dare you?
Hit that thumb, everybody. Hit the thumb. We can do 240 plus, or 230. Where did you get the butcher paper? Vicky, it comes with it.
Comes in the transfer.
Yeah, when you buy the roll of transfer and stuff, it's inside. It comes right out. You can, if you don't have enough or need some more, just local butcher paper will work just fine. It was kind of funny. They used that. They tried using, they couldn't do wax paper because of the wax, and they tried the parchment, and they said there was a reason behind it as well. There's something on the parchment that could cause problems, where butcher paper is just paper. Scorpio all the way. March 11.
Okay. So even though I don't like doing it this way, I will continue to do it this way because of time. It'll save us some time here. Now I'm all about time saving. Because I forgot that this takes 7,000 years to heat up.
Good old John. I got to meet John Stockton once.
You did?
I
Was
did.
it here in town?
Yep, he's from here.
Well, I know
Or he lives
Sean.
here. Well, I don't think he was originally from here, but he went to Gonzaga, worked, played for the Jazz, retired, came here, has a like place of Priest. I think he still does.
You know what? I don't like this. It's just going to take more time. That's all there is to it, everyone. Sorry. We just going to spend more time together.
Sure.
I know some people don't mind doing it that way. I am not the biggest fan. So, sorry. So, I'm going to continue to weed this. I was going to make it time easy for you guys, but I just don't want to. Sorry. I'm rude.
Just a weeding. I have 5 siblings and 3 of us are in October. Wow. We know what mom and
Just
dad
a
are doing
Whedon?
every
That
time.
makes it sound like I'm Josh Whedon.
Could we see what Ken's doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. There you go.
So
He's just
literally,
weeding.
I'm just weeding this to get it ready. Now, she has little black part of the lip. So be very careful if you are going to do this, not to tear that. Just hold it down while you lift it up. That's the other reason I'm not doing the patch on this one, because of the detail on her. And then this part comes out of her eyes. So we're going to very gently,
Oops.
once again, if you need to use a pokey tool, that's fine. Just be very careful with it. So I'm going to take her eyes out. So that way she has beautiful green eyeshadow. So she's a pretty little girl.
You're cooking dinner while watching? Cool. What's for dinner? People are still wanting to see what you're doing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is...
Just doing the...
Okay, so he's all done. So I can now remove this. Let's see how this one turned out, guys.
Yes, Deborah.
Whoa! Look at how good he turned out. No touchy-touchy.
This is Chocatour's thingy. Very cool.
So he didn't do, there was a, remember how I had to bray over this one? You can see where even B braying over it, there was some air in there, so I didn't get as defined of color I wanted. And I'll show you that, but that's, sometimes that, even that braying isn't going to unfortunately help it. Okay, so let's start with this one. We're gonna start with the girl with the green. So we're just gonna follow the settings again. So we have our cardstock. We're gonna have the design facing up, which is gonna be basically like this. And I'm just going to put it this way and then get it ready to, just like that.
Could be pressure too. Good enough?
No, because it's no pressure. I mean, you can hold this one and see if it makes a difference, but it shouldn't because it's no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hold this one?
I can hold it.
Okay, don't move it around.
Oh.
There you go. There goes Shawnee while I finish up my weeding.
You don't get to see the time.
Why?
Because my hand's covering it.
Oh, I thought maybe it was a secret.
Yeah, you do need to let it cool, Sherry, between...
Oh, I forgot to say that it is a cool peel, and I've been taking it off as a hot peel, but this is a little different, but there's no way, I mean, yeah, I should leave it on there for a cool peel.
Sometimes what you'll see is that you'll see it kind of removing itself automatically. Once you see doing that, you can actually start peeling from there.
Yeah. So this is technically a cool peel, guys. I'm so sorry. But when I remove it, sometimes it just falls off anyways.
Happy birthday, Miss Salas.
So I'm just going to weed the blue one to get it ready for the next. And then I'll show you. These are turning out so cute.
Oh, Nancy, that would be cool to watch. Craig's going to do a Chocateur.
Oh, fun.
She had her chemo today and she doesn't feel like it.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame you. Let him do it. It's so easy.
I was supposed to do one yesterday and I didn't feel like it either, so I get ya.
Yeah, we'll have to tune in. Do you have to seal it? No, this stuff literally seeps into the, because it's a spray, it's a polyester spray. It literally chemically is entered into the fabric, if it's a fabric, or into the stuff. So once it's on, there is no need to seal it or anything. It's good to go. It'll always be there. That's what's really cool. We're at 1:30, almost halfway. Oh, Donna, thank you for catching us live.
So all I'm doing, you guys, as Sean has pushed down, is just weeding the black part, which is the eyes and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy to do this, you guys, because it's so vibrant in the colors when it's done. I love it.
Joanne Lynch, it's all the same. As long as it is a polyester, it'll work. It can even be a polyester blend. If it's 100% polyester, you'll get the most vivid colors out of it. Blends are just going to be slightly muted, but not by much.
All of Cricut's blanks are...
100%.
Nope, they're 95%
95,
polyester, 5% I think spandex.
Yes.
And
except for these, I don't think there's spandex in this stuff.
yeah, I don't know what these are, but I do know...
Sabina, these are coasters from Cricut. You get
the coasters are from Cricut, the designs are my Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon, yeah. So you would have to buy those, unless you can find coasters, but it's Cricut.
So here's the yellow that we still have to finish. Look at it. So this is the red. It's pretty cool now. You can see just where my ripples and paper were, but it's still pretty cute. I mean, yeah, that would be, you could try to repress this, with that color, which I might do, I don't know. But I don't think it's that bad. Sean, do you?
I don't think so.
No, look at it. Look at them. They're best friends, but we still have to finish the yellow, which we'll do here in a sec. As we finish all these.
30 seconds.
These would be perfect ideas for like gifts.
Perfect gift.
Like, you know, a lot of people will make like
Because your brother, I don't know if he still
well,
has
I made the
but-
M&M ornaments from him. That's where I had these files from. But I think they'd be really cool gifts. Where are we at? 14.
14.
How do you know we're at 14?
You can see it from that angle. 10.
9, 8, 7, 6,
If I can.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so it's a cool peel. So I'm gonna see it automatically kind of moves, but I will try to do a cold peel. Okay, so we're gonna do the last one here, which is the last coaster. So
You may see this happen. I know it's a little hard to tell. It's starting to yellow, but it's still fine.
it's still fine.
Yo, so fine.
Okay, here we go. So we just need to make sure it's centered. Now, I did cut these just a little bigger, just so I had them
Yep.
to where they had like a little bit of an overhang on them.
Which is totally perfect for something like this. Sometimes when we did the testers, they were all just over, and you want to kind of do that because it works perfectly.
Okay,
Are they going to come out with other colors?
I do believe they
We do
are.
believe,
It's
yes.
been a huge hit.
Yes.
It's on Google Trends. Like, I wasn't making that up. So it really is on a Google Trend, meaning
Yes.
like
Yep.
a lot of people are looking it up and interested in it. So I anticipate not only will they come out with, are you ready to hold it again, Shawnee?
I will.
Okay, I think they'll even come out with more blanks. There you go, Sean. So I do anticipate that happening. Because this is so popular, you could do that. I do want to be clear. You can do this in your house. You can buy a printer, convert it, get the ink, print it on special paper, put it on a polyester. So there is sublimation ink on the market. You have to convert a printer, which is kind of inconvenient. So what Cricut has done is really made this a convenience factor of you don't have to print it out. They're going to come out with more colors. It gives you the same result. So I anticipate they'll probably come out with more colors, designs, and more blanks. I mean, if you think about it, usually there's mouse pads you could do ornaments, you could do, I mean, the possibilities are endless. Like, you could drill a hole into this to make it an ornament.
You could.
I wouldn't, but you could.
Yeah. Use a very special tip, blade tip or drill tip to do that. The coasters were 3.6 inches in diameter.
3.6 diameter.
So you made your.
My designs are 3.6. So maybe I did it
You must have
3.7 or 3.8.
Yeah, but probably 3.7 because the amount it looks like it's really small. So probably 3.7 is perfect for that.
Yeah, but the coasters are 3.6 diameter. So I do anticipate them coming out with more. While he is doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get my yellow position on here, so that way we can go straight to that. And all I'm doing is lining it up because it's sticker paper. Go ahead and go, there you go, Brian. Since it's sticker paper, I can just line it directly up with the pattern underneath. This is why I tend to do it more this way than trying to puzzle piece it, because I prefer it this way. However, you can do it either way.
Yes, Eileen, you can.
So he's all lined up and ready to go. So we'll have him. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this green. Is pretty cool now.
Holiday design, probably so.
Look at that.
Perfect.
Look at the difference too. Like, this is after sublimation. You can see on the corner there.
Or didn't go through.
Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh, I love her.
Hi, Laura.
I love her, love her, love her.
Do you want me to do that? Or
Yeah, I'll wait. Good point, Sean.
Somebody wants to see your red one.
So this is, when I put this on, there was a ripple in the paper and I used a brayer, but I don't think I got it
All the way.
So that's where the discoloration. We can fix this. I can show you how. The problem is if I get more red over here, it's going to even be brighter. So it's almost better to have that discoloration than anything. That's just what I think. But to each his own.
1 minute.
Whose is this then? Oh, that's the color you're doing right now. That.
Does anyone know if the new mini Easy Press will be available at the next HSN Craft Day on 10 September?
I would assume it would be because it comes out September 6th,
Yeah.
but HSN would know the official word.
Yep.
I don't. What are we down to, Sean? This is so exciting.
35.
Should we count? No, we have to wait.
And wait.
We have to wait.
Are you double
He's
punching
double
over there?
tapping.
Stop double
He's like
tapping.
double dipping. He's too excited.
That's
He
right.
needs to simmer down. Yeah.
Hi, Pam.
All right, so we are down to 20 seconds. So I do think leaving it on for the coal peel is better, so we're gonna do that again. And then we're gonna go straight to doing this guy.
Yellow.
So this is why the cardstock will be important, because I don't have the whole transfer tape blocking this, so it could get a little bit of that ink. Don't think it will, but it could.
Dun-dun-dun.
Okay.
Hot. Yes. Hot. But very cool on the other side. They really came out with a really cool, these mats are so cool. You can see here how
I forgot to put down my cardstock. That's
Cardstock.
why you want that cardstock.
and this is and that's a second press.
That's a second press. So that's why, so on this yellow, it could discolor my cardstock here. So, which isn't a big deal. It'll still be
Well,
vibrant.
You shouldn't do it because this is paper and there's
Correct,
no
it shouldn't,
polyester.
but you never know.
Yeah, there is polyester in the mats though.
Yes. So, white cardstock, our image. So it's image, this facing down, this, and we are going to press this one for. So, and this is still, it's not super hot, but it's hot enough. But I'm going to go ahead and layer this on there because she is next.
It's so quiet. She's puckered up.
When I made these files, they hadn't debuted Mrs. Brown yet, so I had a lady a long time ago make it for me, and so I do have Mrs. Brown. Oh, there's a little piece of black still in there I need to poke out. Good thing I caught that.
Yeah, baby hot. We can cook an egg on that.
So when they were showing this to us, they literally said, these get super hot, you know, so when you, as soon as it was done, Sean went and took his hand to pick it up, and everyone at Cricut was like, don't! He was like, what? And I was like, he doesn't listen, guys. He doesn't listen to instructions. And they were like, we kind of see that now. He said, I told you all, but no one wanted to believe me.
I'm not an enabler, says no. Ooh, look at him.
Look at the blue.
That's hot, isn't it?
No. See? Look at it. Look how vibrant that is.
Mega vibe.
Look, we have the red,
Hey, Craig.
the green, and the blue so far. The yellow's being cooked. Let's cook, Jesse.
Cook. Jesse.
So, oh my gosh, these are turning out so good. I'm going to use these upstairs. I love Infusible Ink. I forgot how cool this stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like being in science class. Hi.
We could tell them the story about my Xfinity guy.
What's that?
Oh, the Xfinity person today.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Ryan had Xfinity or Comcast set in, and it turns out that the Comcast wife actually watches us. So, hi, Allison. Allison?
have the
Hi,
time.
Allison. I hope you're watching.
Look. On Monday, or
Oh,
2
yes.
days ago, I made those little cookie bites. Will you show them, Ryan?
Go to the other camera.
They're little M&Ms. It's just peanut butter, honey, and oats, and then, of course, the M&Ms. You want one?
Sure.
You want one, Ryan?
Yes. Sean was telling them about my Xfinity story about I got a picture with someone.
He is so popular now because he knows Ken's Kreations.
Uh-huh.
So we said hi to Allison if she's watching.
Hi, Allison. Oh my gosh, this is so good. So we also made one with M&M's, and this one is got craisins and white chocolate. I made those for my dog because dogs can have white chocolate.
Because it's not chocolate. It's cocoa butter. We are at...
And it doesn't have
40
sugar
seconds.
in it. It's only got honey, so I don't get in trouble by Sean.
Well, M&M's up here.
Why do you
That's
have
okay,
to always
it's-
find the
it's-
unhappy things in life?
But it's minimal.
He's about ready to be minimal. Sean is, isn't he?
Now you do, now 22207, no. Once these are infused, they are completely infused and you do not need to put anything on.
20 seconds.
20, thanks.
Now, sorry, I have to drink some water. This yellow one still has one more layer at the end.
Carol, Bernard, yes, you can do this with pens. If you want to get some copier paper or something like that and just do your own hand coloring.
The cheap, yep. Get ready.
Absolutely you can. You have if you have grandkids or just kiddos, they can just do something, pop it on something on a coaster.
Flip it down and reverse it. Is your flipper whipper wet yet?
Where's our other
Is
ones?
your swiffer whipper wet?
Where's our ones that we did, our coasters that we did?
Oh, I'll go grab them. They're in the box over there. If you want to go grab them.
Sure.
They told you to wash your hands before you touch that.
Wash what?
Your hands,
Why do I need to wash my hands?
because of the food you touched.
Well, guess what?
So they have other coasters other than ceramic. They have these. Here's one of the ceramic ones that we did. Using the infusible paper and all that. So these are the ceramic ones. These are cork back. There's a little bit of metal, and then these have the polyester top. So somebody just made a design that's just it's a black pen draw. You can
Black
do that.
pen draw.
You can do that in your Cricut. Draw this, make it just so it's like a design, and then take the pens and fill it in. Now, of course, if you use anything with lettering, if you mirror it, right? Mirror it backwards
I have no idea what you're talking
when you
about.
do letters. You
want to mirror it.
You have to mirror it when you do letters. So if you want your pen to write it, do it mirrored. I hand mirrored this one, and the easy way to do that is write it normally in a big black pen or something, flip it over, and then you can take your pen. And
We don't have to say big black pen. That's kind of not nice. Okay, so we are ready to do this.
Cool design.
Okay, Sean, you're the official holder. Okay.
Cuteness
Why
all
is it
around.
the things that bring me such joy in life? Look at him. Look at how cute he is. He's like, what's up, Sean? Doesn't that, when we drink coffee in the morning, isn't this going to make you happy? Oh, you sound so happy.
It'd be awesome.
Now, we still have to do the red lips on him. But look at him. Oh my gosh, I love them. They're so fun. How could you not smile when looking at these? Don't move that.
I'm not. Carly, Kelly, Linda, Kay, and Debbie. Hello.
Ooh, that was like, Dino, don't you go. You want another cookie bar, Sean? Do you want a white chocolate one?
Please.
With craisins?
Sure, if you can find one. If it isn't it.
Do you want one?
Sure.
I won't lick yours.
I don't care.
Mmm.
Thanks, Deborah, for the super chat.
Super chat. Thank you. I know, aren't these fun?
Yes, they are. These are Cricut brand.
Yes, those are the square ones.
These are square ones.
I think they meant those ones.
Don Spengler says, I'm still using the Cricut expressions. I think I got it in 2006-07. It still works like a champ. Thinking about the maker.
Oh, you need the maker.
You need the maker.
I mean,
You're Cutting days will change so dramatically.
Don't get me wrong, that original
No,
baby one was
yeah.
a good machine. But the Maker can do so much and has so much more pressure. And in fact, that's the next video they're shooting. So Ryan and Sean today shot easy press video to compare like the baby to the 9x9 to the 12x10.
Yep.
Then once we get the mini, we'll review that. And then they're gonna do the next video is the Cricut Explorer Air 2 versus the Maker. We're getting ready for Christmas.
It's not really a versus, it's just showing
Yeah.
you.
They're both good machines,
They're good-
but
both
if
good
you have to
machines.
choose, I would say save up to get the Maker because you're going to get a lot
Right.
more. But it's so funny when I recommend the Maker to most people, a lot of people will show me the machine they got, and it'll be like the Cricut Easy Press 2, which is great.
Yeah, Linda, you're gonna be like awesome when you start doing this. You're not gonna be able to stop. It's so awesome. Yeah, Maker will change your life.
I can't see the question.
You're gonna do any engraving, debossing, wavy, or perforated as well. Yes, Myrna, we will be.
Why is Jessica mad at me? What did I do, Jessica?
Where is it?
She says, OMG, no you didn't, Ken. I don't know what I did.
You touched the thing before washing your hands. The oil's gonna mess it up. That's what they were saying the whole time. And then I told you, and then you yelled
What's
at
going to
me.
mess it up?
The oil.
On what?
I don't know, from the paper. That's what they were saying.
We're living on the dangerous side of life.
Love Sean's voice over the last video. Why, thanks, Rebecca.
Yes, we are, Myrna. We are going to do, that will be part of the, we're doing a Cricut Maker review too, because our original Cricut Maker review, all they had out was the rotary blade, so it's all based around that blade, like cutting fabric and stuff. Now they have the knife blade, they have all of these tools, so that's going to be part of the new Cricut Maker review. So, yes, that is coming.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! I'm telling you.
Oh, she said you licked Sean's cookie.
Oh, please. I've done worse. That sounded bad. I didn't mean for that to sound bad. I really didn't. Okay.
The details the Maker can do is unbelievable. It is.
Okay, so we're bringing this guy out. He is the blue. I've already lined up the black, so it's going to go facey down. Butcher paper.
Hold on.
Oh. Butcher paper. Easy press. Did you? Okay.
I just want to make sure it's all there.
And go.
Yeah.
So then, we just need to do, after that, we just need to do this guy's cutie lips. So once again, I'm just going to be lining it up to the open spot. Hence why we sliced it. So it's like a puzzle piece.
Licking is. How did you put it? Licking his cookie is a sign of true love. Thanks, Leslie.
Don't move that.
I'm not.
Okay, so here's some videos so we will be back tomorrow for Ken from the Car. It's Wednesday, yes. And a Chocolatory video Wednesday night. To everyone that gave to our Lots of Love, we're in the process of getting stuff ready for Africa tonight. We have to go find some rash guards, so because you have to wear long sleeves the entire time there. Like they want
You
you
don't
cup.
have to,
Yeah,
but
but
it's a
the
protection.
mosquitoes and
It's
the
protection.
sunburn and stuff like that.
And the worst is the tsetse fly.
If I hear about these tsetse flies one more time, I swear
You don't want to get bit by a
to
tsetse fly. You
Africa.
might get the
Here we go.
Africa sleeping thing.
Why would you scare me? I'm
Why
already
not?
deathly afraid of everything, and I have so
It's
many.
only a possibility. That's all.
Why would he even say that, guys? Why? I'm already not deathly scared, but it's the unknown, and he's sitting there saying you don't want to fall asleep and get the tsetse flies, because then you may never wake up. Why would you say that? That's not good. You shouldn't do these things. The tsetse flies.
TSE, tsetse.
Oh!
It's gonna be in the 80s there. Ooh,
Well, that's not good.
that's not good.
Oh, her lips are still on there. That's why. Part of it.
Yeah, but the rest.
I think it just needs to cool. Oh, her lips look so good, guys. It's a little too hot. Look, her lips. So cute. I think we're good, don't you? Do you think we have to leave it on there that long? For a second? I guess so, if you want it nice and bright, huh? Shouldn't have done that. I had a little bit of the grit paper, guys. I don't know why. Anybody ever get that before?
Well,
I didn't think it would do that, but it is. It's on there. I wonder if it is. Maybe we should have pieced them all together. Thoughts, everyone?
gotta wait about 20 seconds.
I don't know if we have to set on second layers. Do you have to do it for 4 minutes? I didn't think we had to.
Is there a thing in there that talks about?
I'm going to use transfer tape on this one and see if it makes a difference. Because I think it will.
$35.
I don't know if we need to do it that long, but whatevs. These are super cute, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Love them. Anyone answer that question on mine? No?
I'm putting very little pressure on it, Anita. I'm just basically whatever weight my hand puts on it.
Carly says, yeah, it's the repress. So are we supposed to use transfer tape, Carly? Instead? That's what she's saying, is it's the repress of that. That's the reason we got a little bit of that grid there.
Mm.
See, that's what I thought. So we're going to probably get it on this one, too.
Should we do it while it's still warm, Carly, or should we?
Here we go. I used transfer tape on this one. We're going to see if it makes a difference.
And do you have to go for the full 4 minutes, Carly?
See, this one didn't do it as bad. Oh, that's right. They're hot.
They're hot. They're hot.
I kind of did it, but... So, let's learn from Ken. So, I do think the idea of puzzle piecing them together is much better. Mm-hmm. So, we learned our lesson because this guy...
So Carly says that's why you have to do the slice and...
That's what we did, and we should have done it all in one layer like Renee said.
And glue, but always press it all at once and make sure
Yep, so here is the red. Remember, this is the air bubble that we got in it. So if your thing has an air bubble, but we are going to probably get it on this one too, and that's why she was saying the slice. So, but we still like them. They're cute.
Yes.
I love them. Look how cute they are. So, yes. So what Carly is saying and what we said in the beginning is puzzle piecing them together. The only bad thing on that is, for example, on her, that is a really fine line. So trying to line that up. So basically what we should have done is puzzle pieced them all together and done it in one press.
Yeah, that's what she's saying, yeah.
This is why you guys watch us. You can learn from our oopsie doodlies.
Yeah, I do the full 4 minutes, but I like to avoid repressing. Lighter colors are not as noticeable.
Okay, there you go.
Which is why you can't see it in the yellow.
You can't.
Yeah.
No, so...
Which is under here.
So yeah, so that's a repressing. No pressure is needed on this. So if you guys... can you share my desktop? I just want to show this guys again. So Cricut has put together a pretty impressive... Just a sec, Ryan, I'll get it up. I cannot stress it enough. If you guys... I have the link in my video. If you guys get a chance, or anytime you're using your Easy Press, use this guide. This guide is so amazing. It's literally pick and choose. So it tells you, do you have the Easy Press 1, do the Easy Press 2. So we have the Easy Press 2.
Can you zoom? Can you just zoom that so it's a little bigger?
Like this?
Yes. There you go.
Okay, so I pick the Easy Press 2 or Easy Press 1. So then I say I have Infusible Ink transfer sheets, and then I'm doing this on a ceramic coaster. All I do is hit apply, and it tells me everything. It says it's 400 degrees for 240 seconds, no pressure, cold peel. You can even change it to Celsius if you change your machine. And then on Infusible Ink, it gives you here. It does it on the other ones, but this gives you a graphic. So it shows the mat, the cardstock, the Infusible Ink, the coaster, the butcher paper, and then your press. It even tells you your stacking order and any other supplies. So it even, if you were to even take it a step further and do the t-shirt and hit apply, it even tells you like inside how to do your press. So look at, this is the mat. You have a piece of cardstock inside your t-shirt. And then it gives you all of your tips. Make sure you lint roller, use tweezers. Let's say we're just doing everyday iron-on. So everyday iron-on, we're saying 100% cotton, Cricut Easy Press Matte, apply, tells you 315 degrees, preheat for 5 minutes, or 5 seconds, 30 seconds, it's light pressure, warm peel. So anytime you are not sure with the material you are working with, pull up that guide. Now, I anticipate that when they release the Easy Press Mini, that it will be integrated into this guide. I would just assume that because the Easy Press Mini, from what I've seen, it's just got 3 levels of how hot it gets. So there's like a low, medium, and high. So you won't know what is high. Is that 400 degrees or 300 degrees? So I think they'll probably build it into this. I'll have to wait once I buy it and go look on Friday. But that guide, I love it. When people say, hey Ken, how do I use cards or how do I do regular iron-on? I'm always like, I don't know. Let me go look really quick. You don't have to remember the settings doing it this way. Yeah. So I love that.
So Carly says...
Melody says, yes, it will be on Friday. So they are going to incorporate the little mini into it.
So Carly says, do a video like Melody. It's the glue layering. So what kind of glue are you using for layering?
What is she talking about?
There's a way of doing this with glue layering.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either.
Glue layering? See, what we
Carly,
would have done
no,
is...
what does it mean?
What we should have done is what we did on the red one. Because the red one, we pieced it all together.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't get... So, and even on this yellow one, it looks great. So it is that reheat. So we're going to let the yellow one cool. We're going to throw away this butcher paper. It's been used. Turn off our Easy Press. Make it safe. So these here were done, just to show you guys here. So this was done... These were all one press. So even this was drawn by the Cricut on a piece of cheap copier paper. I think you use like a laser copy paper. And so the black was already done. And then we took the Cricut pens. So there's different pens. There's that.
So these are the basic colors. The black would normally go here, which is this one here.
So we took all of the different pens and colored them in. So I colored this one. Sean colored this. So it was drawn in the 0.4 pens. These are 0.4 in the machine on copier paper. Then we took these pens, the 1.0, and colored them in and then pressed them.
Or if you need the 0.4, you can.
Correct. This was just a cutout design, you can see, because we have a little bit of the layer, we kind of didn't line it up. So of different patterns. And then this was on this coaster. So all of the coasters I've done have always been one layer. It's the first time I'm kind of doing 2 layers, so we've learned a little lesson. And let me bring them into view here. How freaking cute are these? Even with that, this isn't a repress issue. This was because it had a ripple in it, and we thought we barred it down. But you can't really see it on yellow, so that's, to Carly's point, lighter colors, you're fine. It's the darker colors that I got that repress. So we should have pieced it together with all of them like we did our red. So if you didn't see that, go back into the video and you can see how we put this all in one carrier sheet. But I still love them. They're freaking cute.
Thanks, Audrey, for joining and watching us. Hi, Allie. So Mel's got a Wet My Plants video that I guess I'm assuming that's going to show how you do the gluing, the glue version.
I don't know the glue version. I just know, I always call it the puzzle piece. So for example, on this red one, we put the red layer, it was our main layer, so we just picked out the other black pieces and layered them inside. But it sounds like there's gluing that will keep them stuck in there, is that correct?
That's what I'm assuming.
Okay, well now we know.
Well, too.
You can go back up, Tess.
Looks like you licked the green one.
Yeah. So I still love them. I think they're great. And it's always great when we make a mistake because that way you guys can see how we fix it and stuff. So, all right, guys. Well, we are at 1 hour and 40 minutes because of all that stuff. So what did we learn? We learned, number one, that if you're going to do multiple layers, it's better to do it on one carrier sheet and then press it for that 4 minutes. So if you didn't see that part of the video, go back to the red M&M part, and that will show you how you actually piece it all together. It's essentially like a puzzle piece. So if you missed out on the Cricut design space aspect of this, I highly recommend watching it because I show you how to slice. Slice is a very big function in Cricut that a lot of people aren't aware of. And this is how we were able to take one SVG and create like this puzzle together to cut all the different layers. So check that out. Make sure you check out all of the links down below. Right now it's only available at Michael's and not all Michael's. But it will be coming to Cricut sometime in October. But it's definitely super fun. We've had a blast doing it. We are going to be doing a whole overview, not live, of this. We do have a 2-hour long live video where we literally went through how to do coasters, how to do a t-shirt, how to do a tote, how to do a baby onesie. It was about 2 hours. It was long, but it was fun.
It was fun.
And I gave you that link down below as well. And then other than that, we will be live tomorrow. We're going to be doing a Ken from the Car, going over sales, our week, doing a taste test. And we will be doing a Chalk Couture video tomorrow night on my Chalk Couture YouTube channel, so check that out. And other than that, thanks for everyone that stayed with us the whole time. It was a long video, I know, but we had a blast with all of you.
Lots of fun.
So, any last questions, Sean? And thank you, Carly, for answering questions. Thank you,
Carly.
Melody, for answering questions, and all my wrenches and all of those.
Thank you, guys.
I had one lady say, "Why do you call your people wenches?" And I'm like, "They're not wenches. They're wrench because they have a little wrench next to their name."
Yeah.
But the first time someone said that to me, I was like, "Why are they calling them a wench? That's not nice." So
thanks for another great video.
Oh well, thank you guys. I'm so glad you guys. I seriously
Thanks,
do, and I'm not just saying this because I screwed this up. Okay, I am not just saying this because I screwed it up. I do think some of our best videos is where we make mistakes and people can learn. Mm-hmm. Sure. I do say it when we screw up, but still, I stand by it. Because if you did everything perfect, number one, then you would feel bad because you'd be like, why are they always perfect? We're not. That's the magic of editing, because you can edit out mistakes. Live, you can't. When you lift it up and you're like, weird. Why does she look like she needs antibiotics? I usually do lick my M&Ms. It doesn't look horrible. Yeah, also use it for my coffee mugs. I think they're cute. Works. I like you misfit M&Ms.
Other employee?
Yes, look at this misfit M&Ms. Yeah, all of her kids are just starting school. They're misfit M&Ms.
Misfits.
Yeah, see? They're like the M&Ms that got kicked off the assembly line and nobody wants. I took them in. Everyone needs to even have M&Ms. All right. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. I truly adore you. Hope you guys have an amazing day. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for joining with us, and have a good evening. Bye, everyone.